We've all seen psychic mediums on talk shows claiming to communicate with the dead. But what if instead of on TV, it was happening live right before your very eyes? And what if the medium was an infant? Strap on your Pampers and check this out. It's December 2021 in the suburbs of Akron, Ohio. 22-month-old Evelyn Witt, known as Evie, is in her high chair when her mom, Tana, hears something odd and starts filming.
Who are you talking to?
The video shows that no one else is in the room with little Evie, but she seems to be having a chat with an invisible uncle.
Who are you talking to?
Tana wonders if the toddler is saying the word uncle.
Who are you talking to? Evelyn, who are you talking to?
That would make sense since Tana's brother, Evie's Uncle Tim, lived at home with Evie's grandmother, Deborah Henley. She watches the little girl during the day.
When I would go to the park, he'd come with me, so he'd help me. He would take her on the swings and down the slide, and, you know, he was just a big part of her life.
What do you think?
Tragically, 1 month before Tana filmed her mysterious video, Uncle Tim died of an accidental drug overdose. So that begs the question, are we watching little Evie talking to Uncle Tim's ghost?
She talked a lot about Tim, and she would say things that I don't think that she knew as a young child.
Who else was happy?
Tim's happy.
Tim's happy?
Yeah.
She was talking to him. I'm almost sure of it.
Author Alexis Brooks suggests that young children potentially have a sixth sense and are actually able to see things that others aren't.
There's some theorists that say that babies can actually see beyond the visible spectrum of light. And it is said that the spirit world essentially lives outside of that visible spectrum.
In July 2021, another child went viral after he began talking to an invisible presence while his family was driving through California's Sierra National Forest. This apparent ghost sighting took place in an area where a woman named Sandra Johnson Hughes went missing a year earlier. And she looks just like how the boy described. There is another potential source of supernatural connection between children and the spirit world, the pineal gland, a little understood gland in the center of the brain that produces melatonin. It's been connected to the mystical third eye chakra of Eastern religions. Some claim children's pineal glands have not yet atrophied, which give them visibility into a broader spectrum of reality. But what is our experts' sense? First, we ask forensic video analyst Michael Primo to authenticate the footage.
The recording's structure was analyzed, and there is specific metadata in the file, which would have been produced from the original version. So there is no evidence to suggest that any kind of fabrication occurred with this interaction.
Who are you talking to?
So the video is authentic. But is Evie's apparent encounter with Uncle Tim? Can children really see things adults can't? Can children see outside the visible spectrum of light, as some have claimed? One 2018 study published by the University of Georgia showed young people can detect ultraviolet light down to a wavelength of 315 nanometers, much lower than the average middle-aged adult. Still, Dr. Ed Hope doubts this study explains what we're seeing here.
In general, children's vision is actually worse than our vision. In fact, when you're born, you only see black and white and have very limited vision, and this increases rapidly in the first 6 months. So there will still be some development with the eyes and vision at this age.
Theoretical physicist Dr. Michio Kaku adds that Evie is also still developing her social skills and her understanding of object permanence. So, could she be chatting with an imaginary friend?
Sometimes their imaginary friends are confused with real ones. It won't be till around age 3 that a sense of what is real and not real becomes solidified in their mind, and realize that she's only 22 months old.
Who are you talking to?
Then what do our experts think is the cause of Evie's inexplicable interactions with Uncle Tim?
I think the most likely situation here is that Evelyn is mimicking behaviors of the family members around her, going through a bereavement, Kids are like sponges, and this is a way of Evelyn dealing with that situation.
Still, Evie continuously turns back and addresses the same exact spot in the room. Even Dr. Kaku cautions against jumping to conclusions.
Obviously, she has an emotional connection, but the key question is, to what? Maybe children can see another aspect of reality that we cannot see.
Tim had
So this is a tough one because we witnessed in real time Evelyn having conversations with an invisible or imaginary entity. For now, we're saying these interactions are unexplained. It's certainly possible Evie was just imagining her uncle was there, but we can't say that for sure, and the family is convinced that something more was going on. In the meantime, they urge anyone affected by substance abuse in Ohio to contact Hope United.